All right, now we move on to the next segment of our bulletin on the table. Over to you, Otto.
Oh, thank you very much, Shoaida. With me on the table today is General Manager of Green Xperts in Sdn Bhd, a solar energy company, Mr. Fitri Issa. Now, thank you very much for coming to RTM. I'm sure you're a busy person, so once again, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Now, without further ado, let's go into the first question. Now, before we start, can we talk about 2024, the budget, all right? 393.8 billion ringgit were allocated on some major initiatives for the green energy industry. And users include tax rebate and income tax relief were mentioned during the speech. So what do you think about this announcement?
Well, first of all, thank you, Otto, for having me on the show tonight. Generally, the budget 2024 were very much well received by everybody because it shows the government continue to show great confidence in both EV and solar sector as a high value and high growth industries. This recent announcement of incentive also will actually bolster the take-ups on these both ends. As a trivia, Otto, if we are to leverage on all of our nation rooftop with solar panels, we could actually generate about 4 gigawatt of solar power. This could actually power up our nation sustainably. As you may know, currently the EV is in the center of attention. And of course, is in our nation progress to electrify our transportation sector. And I think Budget 2024 really speaks out this sentiment as well. But of course, this whole thing, this energy transition is a journey. And we, as the green technology and energy advocate, are very excited about the Budget 2024 when we are ever ready for us to take and play our part.
See. Now, does this actually reflect back to the budget? Does this reflect Malaysia's transition towards renewable energy and committed towards achieving carbon neutrality?
So it has always been the stance of the nation. It's just that the recent acceleration towards this carbon neutrality has been slightly quicker than how it was before. The introduction of National Energy Transition Roadmap, or NETR, recently has outlined many policies that actually will support the government ambition to go net zero. So Budget 2024 will be supplementing government to achieve the ambition, and I have a really good feeling about the future.
Now, why is going green economically and or socially important for Malaysia? Why do you think?
Well, I think everybody have heard about sustainable financing, sustainable investing as well on the global landscape through the lens of ESGs and UN SDGs. I think that it has come on shore. If we were able to address sustainability as it encompasses the notion of meeting the current needs without compromising the future generation needs. So this is how and why we should address it through the Green Initiative. This is more apparent as economy and social function are so intertwined. So you cannot take one and neglecting another because it will result in collapse. It is very important for both of these elements to be developed together, hand in hand, so that our country continue to be more competitive in global landscape, while the society will remain morally driven. In my opinion, if it is done through the right implementation of policies and incentive, we could really see a quick acceleration in terms of economy and advancement into our social fabric as well.
Now, with regards to infrastructure and all that, what about the normal Malaysians living in rural areas? Would they be affected by the Green Initiative?
Well, positively, yes, definitely. Of course, even without the current highlight on this Green Initiative, most of Malaysian, not just in us here in this Klang Valley area, but of course everybody has took up this commitment long before this. So millions across the country has take their part in probably recycling and reduce the carbon emission and make Malaysia a better place to live in. Going green economically and socially is going to positively impact everyone for us to achieve the same goal environmentally and socially, and by benefiting from it as well. So adoption of green initiative are easy. As you know, as nowadays renewable energy is as accessible as it gets. Of course, this will also be within the reach of people in the rural areas.
Now, Putrajaya will be tapping into solar energy from next year. How much carbon emission could be reduced compared to right now?
Okay, Otto, the adoption of solar energy as a means to reduce carbon emission is not new. It had been going around for a while, across the globe. And it is because it's the least carbon-intensive source of energy that we can use. And solar panel provide no emission during the generation itself, but of course has a smaller carbon footprint compared to fossil fuels in the whole life cycle. So if we're looking at this with proper planning and execution, I think we are looking at around 90% of carbon emission reduction by Putrajaya in the future, inshallah.
Wow. Now, how soon can the rest of the country actually follow suit with regards to this?
Well, the option is slowly but surely. I think the energy transition is a huge exercise. It takes everybody to come together to do this. So as we see trends from the previous years with the advancement of government policies, we are bullish that more will realize that energy sustainability, energy security, and energy affordability could be addressed through clean sources of energy. So more importantly, we strongly believe in public-private partnership is a way to go. Because it could bridge the gap, number one. Number two, it could reduce the cost, mitigate associated risks with it, and help us to do this collectively together to put more focus and effort to achieve the government goal of 70% renewable energy mix by 2050.
Well, I really hope that it's achievable anytime soon. Now, there are some limitations in using solar energy or electric vehicles. Now, the main concern would be the high cost borne by its users. Now, what are your thoughts on this?
Okay. The advancement of solar technology has really reduced the ownership cost, I think, since the last 1 decade. But despite the reduction, I have to agree with you, Otto, that the cost to own a solar system is still relatively expensive. This is unfortunate. However, in supporting the nation's ambition towards this renewable energy adoption, we, the solar player industry, together with financial institutions, have rolled out many ways on how we can really finance this transition. We have from green financing with low interest rate, for one, easy payment plan, EPP, with 0% installment, solar leasing, and of course, private funding initiative and zero capex model. It's just ways on how one can adopt solar technology by bypassing the initial high cost. But on EV adoption, the combination of solar installation at home could really reduce the ownership costs, while of course playing their part in supporting the nation's ambition.
Now, what about the manufacturing emissions of solar panels and EV batteries? Is there any concern in efforts to reduce actually carbon emission? We produce more carbon emission?
Well, that's an interesting question you have, Otto. Well, to be fair, all manufacturing processes will result in carbon footprint. It's just nominal or way real. So that also includes renewable energy parts and components such as panel and batteries. This carbon footprint, or we call it initial carbon debt, will later be rectified through carbon offset during the energy generation. Even with the current solar panel technology, it will take about 3 years for it to pay off its carbon debt and become carbon neutral. Normally, solar panel will have at least 20 years of lifespan. And with the initial carbon debt of 3 years, we are looking about 17 years of clean energy.
Wow.
So with the current carbon footprint of batteries are still relatively higher compared to panel. But the pressure to decarbonize keep on increasing by the market. And with the current EV boom, manufacturers are racing to address this concern. More than 100 auto industry OEM and suppliers trying to find how they can reduce the this emission through commitment by science-based target initiative. More and more collaboration also has been seen on how you can actually take these batteries from EV and repurpose it after its cycle life.
Wow.
So I think the next 5 to 10 years will be very crucial as the technology advance. So inshallah, we can produce more, better, sustainable parts and components, battery for that matters.
Inshallah. Now, in regards to the net energy metering or NEM, now the Prime Minister announced that this program is extended until the end of next year. Now, why is this important and who can actually benefit from this?
Okay. If you're looking in the history of Malaysia renewable energy adoption, the government has successfully introduced a lot of instrumental programs throughout the years in a way to adopt renewable energies. We are thankful as for those steps has taken to where we are today. So NEM or net energy metering were actually introduced back in 2016 as a way to adopt solar energy. Since then, NEM 2.0 and NEM 3.0 is the recent one, has been introduced with about 2050 megawatt quota allocation for all sectors. It feels slightly nostalgic, to be honest, as we welcome the Prime Minister announcement on the extension of the program, because I think from the industry standpoint of view, the acceleration of adoption from the masses were pretty recent. It was quick in these past few years. So we hope that this extension will make everybody sees that there's a rush for you to adopt this green initiative, and probably some real push from all the sectors on this NEM program extension. As an industry player, it has always been our duty and commitment to continue to educate the market, society and the community on what green energy could do and how that we can benefit from both tangible and intangible benefit from NEM program.
Well, thank you for that. Now, it's looked like that we're all out of time, so for On the Table tonight, and on behalf on Malaysia's tonight's team, I would like to thank Mr. Fitri, all right, for coming and sharing your insights on green and renewable energy as well.